Hello and welcome to today's live broadcast and rebroadcast if you're catching this a little bit later. Today we're going to be discussing fasting and working out and what you should do post-workout. And hopefully today I will be able to answer some of the questions you might have or clear up some of the misinformation that is often out there about what our individual needs are as women. I'm going to share with you how I run my fasting and my workout schedule as well to achieve the results that I say that I want for myself. So welcome. My name is Diane. I am a fasting mindset coach. So I really help you think about what it is that you're trying to achieve with your intermittent fasting lifestyle. And I really want us to think about ourselves as individuals and not take information that is delivered to us from the form of the masses. And I also want to make sure that we're thinking about where we're getting our information from. And so today that really does apply, especially with us as Asian women and what it is that we say we want for ourselves and reaching the maximum results with working out and what it is we're doing with our intermittent fasting schedule. So welcome. Make sure if you're joining us on YouTube that you have hit that subscribe button. Make sure that you are also clicking that little bell notification so you'll be notified when we go live. And on Facebook, make sure you're hitting that follow button as well. There's also a little caret you can hit, a little toggle, which will allow you the opportunity to set up for all of our notifications so you'll be notified when we go live so you can join us in the conversation. So let's get started. Fasting post-workout. There is a lot of information out there that says that if you are working out, that you should consume a meal, preferably a high protein meal, 30 minutes to an hour post-workout. So I want to talk about that information and that advice here today, and then I'm going to share with you guys what it is that I do and how I've been able to reach some really amazing results with what I'm trying to do with both avenues of fasting fasting long, feasting well, and training smart. So let's talk about working out really quickly and what that does to our body chemistry and our energy systems. And then Wednesday, we're going to talk about energy systems more specifically. But when we're working out, we're requiring our body to utilize energy, right? That's what we're trying to do with a workout. We're getting energy sources or energy storage available, and that's going to fuel us through our workout because it's just a higher energy demand than our everyday life. So we can get that energy from storage, which is where it comes from when we're in a fasted state, or we can get it from a readily available source, which is right after we feast. So when you feast, you have energy available. When you're fasting, you're going from those energy reserves. So you can work out in a fasted state for sure. It's not going to hurt you in any way. There is a little bit of a learning curve to working out in a fasted state because it just feels different. When you have to put your body in an environment where it's having to pull from storage, it just feels different. But once you associate the feeling with the result, then it's a super easy thing to connect with as far as the results that you're hoping for. Okay, so let's talk about glycogen stores. So when we're working out, we are pulling from those glycogen stores. When you're fasting, it's a lot of glycogen stores that you're utilizing. When you're doing it from a feasted state, then you have some readily available that you're going to use first, and then depending on the intensity or duration of your workout will depend on how much you pull from storage, right? This comes from our muscles, where our muscles actually store glycogen. That stored glycogen is released, and then glucose is readily available in our bloodstream, and that's where we get our energy from. So glucose is higher in your bloodstream when you're in a workout type of environment because that's the energy that your body is initially going to pull to fuel what it is that you're asking of it, right? So you're asking for more energy when you're in a workout state, and then that comes from your muscles in the form of glucose in your bloodstream. So when you're fat adapted or fat adaptation, that's when you're actually burning fat as your primary energy source. So you've heard about like fat burning type of workouts and those kind of things. And all of that information does have some truth to it, but you don't really know if you're fat adapted or you're using fat as your primary source of energy unless you're actually testing your blood, right? And you know that there's actual ketones present in your system. More likely, you're going to have glucose at an elevated level. Elevation is not a bad thing. That's what we need to have our body energized through a workout. Again, all of this is dependent on a lot of different variables. So how long you're working out, how fit you are, how much you have in storage in regards to stored glycogen, and what you're asking of your body, right? So all of these are going to be very personalized. There's no one size fits all for this. So that's the thing that I really want us to understand with today's conversation. It's very personalized. So when we are working out in a fasted state, the one thing that we know through a lot of the scientific data that has been done is that we have an increase in human growth hormone. So the thing that's amazing about human growth hormone is human growth hormone actually preserves lean muscle, and it helps us achieve metabolic balance, right? So in a fasted state, we have a higher production of human growth hormone. So all the things that we're told we're supposed to do post-workout in regards to protein to help us build muscle actually happens in a fasted state, because our body's going to preserve lean muscle with the increase of the human growth hormone. So I want you to think about that as we continue on with our conversation today. So if you break a fast post-workout, right? So you can break a fast primarily, I mean, you can break a fast temporarily pre-workout as well. So let's say you're working out in the morning and you need a little something to, what I call, get you out of the gates. You can actually break your fast temporarily, continue on with your workout, and get your body in what would be called a fasted state, right? Or in the position where you have lower glucose and higher ketones. So you're actually keeping that insulin level at production at bay and the glucose at bay. By staying in a fasted state, you can actually break your fast temporarily with a pre-workout or something that's going to help you with some immediate energy, and then get yourself back into that environment that you want to be at, which is where your glucose is down and your ketones are high. That's where post-workout fasting is really, really beneficial to us. So if you break a fast post-workout, what happens is we have an insulin response. So we know from what we utilize as energy during a workout that we have increased glucose in our bloodstream because we are pulling from glycogen stores, and glycogen releases glucose into our bloodstream. That's what's going to energize us through our workout. So if we already have elevated glucose levels because we did something good in regards to a workout, and then immediately after a workout, we eat something, that's going to now create a new insulin response that's not necessarily coming from storage. It's coming from that last meal or the post-workout meal. So you've just stopped utilizing what's in storage because now you have something readily available, right? So it stops the utilization from storage, and now you have a new insulin response. So for a lot of women, myself included, I love being able to tap into what I have in storage to energize me throughout the day. So I depend on my glycogen reserves. I don't want that energy system to be halted with a post-workout meal. So I continue my fast post-workout. So for example, this morning, I got up, I had a little pre-workout. I ran for an hour, and then I had some water and I had some black coffee, and I kept myself in a fasted state. I'm about an hour away from a 20-hour fast. I feel absolutely fantastic. I have plenty of energy, no hypoglycemic highs and lows, even without a new feast, and I'm going to break my fast at the 20-hour mark. I just tested my blood glucose and ketones prior to us going live here today, and my glucose is low and my ketones are elevated, meaning I am in a state of ketosis. This is exactly the environment that we hope to be in with combining fasting long, feasting well, and training smart. I just required my body to continue to tap into what was readily available through my workout, so glucose in my bloodstream, and then getting my body into a fat burning mode. How do I know my body is in fat burning mode? Because I have ketones present in my system. Had I broken my fast or consumed some food post-workout, I would have stopped that process dead in its tracks, because I would have had a new feasting opportunity that my body could utilize as a source of energy, and I wouldn't have to go into what's in storage, aka fat burning mode. So this is where I want us to think about what it is that we really say we want from our workouts and what it is we say we want with our fasting and our feasting. So if you consume protein, post-workout, protein contains amino acids. Amino acids have been shown in scientific studies to stop autophagy. So a lot of the benefits that we get from a fasted state, again, stop when you consume protein because the amino acids in protein stop autophagy. We know that if we consume carbs post-workout, that stops fat burning because now we have a new insulin response and our glucose is going to be elevated from a new feasting experience. It's not going to be elevated because of a good thing like a workout or because we're in a fasted state. We're utilizing those glycogen stores. And then if we have fats post-workout, that does provide energy in the form of ketone production, but you have to make sure that if you're going to consume fat, it's in a pure form of fat, meaning you're not going to get any amino acids and you're not going to get any carbohydrates. And that's something that's really difficult to find. So what a lot of people do post-workout, from the advice of people who may not be giving them specific enough advice for their individual purposes of what it is they're trying to achieve with their goals, is that you're going to have say a protein shake post-workout. Well, in that protein shake, there's going to be some amino acids. There's probably going to be some carbs. And I don't know, unless you put fat in it, probably not enough fat to help you continue on with the goals that you have, which is usually utilizing fat, reducing glycogen stores, right, and building lean muscle. So we have just stopped everything that we're trying to do with our workout. Remember, when we're here in this community, we fast long, we feast well, and we train smart. The training smart aspect means that we are working out for our future self. So we're working out to make sure that we can stay functionally fit in our everyday life. So we're not doing anything to undo yesterday. We're doing everything for how we want to show up in our future. And I know for me, I love having a lean, fit, healthy looking body, and when I consume too much of this and too much of this, that goes away. Not because I don't have lean muscle. I have plenty of lean muscle because what I do in my everyday activity, but you can't see the lean muscle because it's covered in a layer of either inflammation or fat because I'm eating too much of this and I'm not letting my body utilize what I have in storage, which is glycogen and those fat stores, right? So we have to think about what it is we want in the long term and then support our fasting long and our feasting well so that we can train smart. So full fat is no carbs and no protein. And trust me, that's hard to find. If you're having a protein shake after a workout because you're afraid of losing lean muscle, remember when we're in a fasted state, our human growth hormone is automatically elevated. That's just one of those things that's secreted into our system hormone-wise. And human growth hormone's job is to preserve lean muscle. So it's not going to allow you to eat away at your own muscle. You would have to fast for several days, and I mean several days for that to happen. So you don't have to worry about losing muscle when you stay in a fasted state post-workout. So what I want you to think about when you're hearing advice, even from me, is what are your goals? What are your goals with your workouts? What are your goals with your fasting long and your feasting well? And is the advice that you're receiving making sense for what your goals are? Not some 30-year-old male bodybuilder or not some 20-year-old physique model. What are your goals? And how can you incorporate an intermittent fasting lifestyle with fasting long, feasting well, and training smart to help you achieve your goals, right? And is the advice that you're receiving, does that make sense for you? And is that something that you can sustain? And ultimately, is that making you happy, right? So I know I have been in some infomercials before for a fitness company where I was sharing the results that I received from a bodybuilding program. And I know at the very beginning of the bodybuilding program, the nutritional guideline we were to follow was max carbs, right? We were just maxing out our carb load, and my body got so thick and fluffy, right? I was miserable in my own skin, all to just deplete that buildup so that we could lean out at the end. So you go extreme one way and then extreme this way so that you can lean out your body to show all this muscle, right, that you've developed. I know I can get that same sort of look without having to go to extremes on other end. It's just called living your life, right? I work out 6 to 7 days a week. I work out very moderately. I monitor my heart rate when I work out. And then I make sure that when I work out that my fasts and my feasts support what my goals are. My goals are to manage my glycogen stores, right? So that I don't become backed up and insulin resistant again and lead down the path of pre-diabetes again. And I also make sure that I am putting my body in an advantageous position to produce ketones. That's the thing I'm ultimately hoping for without having to micromanage my nutrition, right? I don't want to count calories. I don't want to manage macros. I don't want to live a ketogenic diet type of lifestyle. I want to be free to live within the confines of what I determine nutrient-dense nutrition for me and living happy in my life. And I can achieve these goals very easily every day by just keeping my body in a fasted state post workout. It works beautifully when you understand what's going on in your body chemistry. The one thing that I recommend, if you are managing macros or you're trying to hit a certain protein gram intake for the day out of fear of losing muscle mass, I highly recommend that you start doing some blood glucose and ketone testing to make sure that what you're doing, the choices that you're making in your feasting window, whether that's after a long fast or even to just break a fast, are the chemical results in your body that you're hoping for. And if you're constantly in that state of glucose in your bloodstream, so elevated glucose levels, and you're not able to produce ketones, I promise you what's going to happen is you're going to feel very bulky and you're going to think that muscles make you bulky. And I can tell you from my own personal experience that muscles don't make you bulky. Muscles make you look lean and fit. What makes us bulky is the extra that we have between the outside of our skin and the muscle that we have, right? The muscles that we're creating with a workout. So if you want to look lean, what we have to remember is we have to keep that inflammation down, and we have to put our body in a position where it can utilize fat as an energy source so that we can make sure that the lean muscle that we really want to get is visible from the surface, right? So you'll see lean muscle when you start to lose fat and you start to lose inflammation, but you have to be in a fat burning type of chemical makeup in your body in order for that to happen. So I hope that helps you. I hope that clears up some of the advice that's out there. It frustrates the heck out of me when I hear women tell me that they can't fast because they have to eat protein after a workout, or they're not working out because it's not convenient to break their fast with protein. And yet, I mean, there's a million things, right? So what I want you to think about is pick a workout that you love and you're excited about doing that will allow your body to show up for your future self in a functionally fit way. Right? So we really want to get some strength training in there. Yes, we do want to get some cardio in there. You probably want to do some yoga and meditation and those kind of things. So how can you fit all of that into your routine so that you're happy and healthy? The second thing that I want you to think about is how can you support those workouts through the choices that you're making with your feasting and your fasting? And does that make sense for you? Because if you're trying to find the perfect workout time, I promise you're not going to find the perfect workout time. You're going to find the time to work out that fits in your lifestyle. The same thing holds true with your nutrition. You want to make sure that the nutritional choices that you're making allows you to be happy within your lifestyle, and then you encompass the fasting part of that to round it out and ultimately get you the results that you're hoping for. So there's nothing that's perfect about this. It's personal. What's personal to you is going to be different to me, and I want you guys to find the intermittent fasting lifestyle that will allow you to fast long enough to achieve the goals that you're hoping for, feast well enough to support your fast for the next day and allow you to be happy and not missing memory-making opportunities. And then I want you to train smart enough. Train in a way that makes sense for you and the life that you want to live, and stop taking advice from people who have no idea what's going on in your life and maybe aren't looking the way that you want to look. So I don't want to look like a 30-year-old bodybuilder, so I'm not going to take advice from a 30-year-old bodybuilder. I'm going to take advice first and foremost from the signs and signals that my body is sending me, and then I'm going to consider these things. What are my goals? Does that advice make sense? And is that something that I can sustain? Because I promise you, if you get results from something that you can't sustain, you're going to be very disappointed, and you're going to think that it was the thing that you did, when the reality is it's that you just couldn't stick with it and you went back to your old ways. So we need to end a lot of this kind of emotional ups and downs that we create for ourselves with not considering these things, right? What your goals are. Does that advice make sense? And is that something that you can sustain for the long haul? Because as soon as you stop doing the thing that got you the results, I promise you, you'll go back to the way you were before you started doing that thing. Tracy, good morning, girlfriend. Where are you that you said good morning? And then Kathy, such great info. You're welcome, girlfriend. You know, this whole lifestyle thing that we're doing with fitness and nutrition and working out is we have to really start figuring out what works best for us, right? I really don't like strength training. I just don't like it. But I do it because I see what I want to look like and how I want to participate in my life in the future, right? I want to be able to get myself off the ground if I fall down. This weekend, we moved furniture in our house. We were moving furniture up and down the stairs. Like, I had no problem doing that. I want to be able to do activities with my kids on vacation in the future. I want to be able to carry in my groceries. I create a fitness lifestyle and routine that supports that lifestyle. I'm not striving to be a bodybuilder. I don't want to stand on a stage and have my physique judged by people. So I don't have to live that lifestyle that's so finite that I'm trying to attain a perfect body. I just want a happy life. And I think sometimes we get so caught up in the right and wrong that we forget to factor in, but what works for us, right? And that's what I really want us to think about as we're moving forward with making these choices for sure. Baja, Mexico. So you're not that far in the morning. You're, what are you, like 2 or 3 hours maybe behind us? Because it's 3 o'clock here in Texas. Okay, so that's it for today. Think about the advice that you're getting. Think about, does this make sense for me? Are you really worried about losing muscle? Are you trying to bulk up in muscle? You will bulk up if you add in extra things that your body is not able to utilize, and that may not necessarily be muscle, right? So if you want to stay lean and you want to stay strong and you want to have that lean muscle, consider how it is you're fasting, consider how you're feasting, and consider what it is you're doing in your fitness routine for sure. Tracy, I'm still in my fast now, so hoping to hit the 18-hour mark till I break my fast. Yeah, that's awesome, girlfriend. So I am, I'll be at 20 hours at 4 o'clock. I started my fast last night at 8. I had an amazing, amazing run this morning. I was doing some marathon prep training. I have zero interest in running a marathon, but I train in that aspect. I literally train when I'm working out, as opposed to just working out. And that really does help you achieve some really great results as well if you're looking to kind of up your fitness game also. So on Wednesday, we're going to talk about energy, right? And we're going to talk about what types of energy that our body utilizes, and the fact that we're either in storage mode or utilization mode, and how we can benefit from both of those situations with our fasting long and feasting well and training smart. So thanks for joining me today, you guys. We're in spring break mode here, and it's a gorgeous day here in Texas. So I'm going to head outside and get some sun and enjoy some time with my family. As always, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments section. And remember, our next intermittent fasting for today's Aging Woman course is starting on April 3rd. Registration is open. All the information is available in the description box. I would love to have you in a class with us. I really try to get you to get yourself in a position in that 3-week time in class where you can utilize all the benefits of the trifecta so that we can all age successfully. Thanks again, you guys. I will see you next week. Valerie, you're super welcome. Patsy, hello, girlfriend. You are welcome also. And then Patty, nice to see you again. I had a one-on-one consult call with Patty this morning. It was awesome. And so have a great day. Consider what you're doing post-workout. Is it going to serve the ultimate goal that you have with your workouts? And if not, try experimenting with something else and see if you can figure out a better way. Have a great rest of your afternoon, you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow on Instagram and Wednesday here on YouTube and Facebook.